what's up? Somebody done gone and wrote to me today and wanted me to know what I thought about the difference between bike touring and car touring. They are different. For me, car touring is better for what I'm doing now, which is working on the computer all day, every day. I could do that if I was bike touring, and it would be cheaper, but it wouldn't be as pleasant. I'd have to, you know, especially if it rains. If it rains, you're kind of, you know, it would be hardcore though. I mean, if somebody had like a daily vlog video, their life, living out their car or their bike and being on the computer all day long, you know, and like working and stuff, that'd be pretty trippy. But no, bike touring is better to do while you're traveling. Like if you're gonna just check out the sights and see the sounds, you know, like if you wanted to see all of America and go all over America or Canada or Europe or something, you want to do it's 100 million times better to do that on a bike than on a car because it's cheaper. It's a fuck of a lot cheaper. You're gonna see 100 million times, well, not 100 million, maybe 100 times more scenery. You're totally gonna see the sights and sounds. On a bike, you see the top of the hill and you're like, oh god, I gotta get to the top of the hill. And then you ride down the hill. Yeah, well, that was fun. Oh, look, top of the hill. So you remember all those hills, you know. You don't on a car because you just like have it floored and you can space out and you can pass like 50 miles without even knowing what happened. And on a bike, you're looking to the side, up, down, around. You can feel the wind. You know which way the wind is going. I mean, you are like, it's like you're right there connected to the earth when you're bike touring. But the other really big thing about bike touring is you get fit. And being in really good shape is like, you know, it's like the second most important thing that you could do. Like the most important thing is like doing, like for me it would be like my goals. Like if you want to like change the world, do your thing changing the world. For me, my thing changing the world is making my history timeline. At least right now, then it'll turn into political maps and zoological maps and all that kind of shit. But like right behind that is like being physically fit. When you're physically fit, time pretty much, I've talked about this in other videos, but time pretty much stops. Like you can be 90 years old and still be basically have the body of a 20-year-old, and even look like a 20-year-old. Maybe not your face, but your body could. I mean, there's videos of 76-year-old Japanese bodybuilder, this dude, and you look at his body and you think it's just this really buff 20-year-old. I don't know how he did it. Yeah, and it can, you know, keep your face looking young too. But bike touring is the best way to keep yourself fit. Plus, you feel good. Like you can feel this buzz. You can just sit there and just enjoy. When you're not healthy, it's kind of difficult just to sit there and enjoy because you've got aches and pains all over, and it's kind of like, it's basically my definition of what being in hell would be like. You know, it's like constant pain. You don't want that. So, but bike touring is the best way to get yourself in shape out of everything because all day, every day, you're basically have it pegged. And so you lose all your fat, you lose, you get all the toxins out, you sweat all your toxins out. I mean, you pee like, you don't pee the whole day. You pee like once at the end of the day. Oh, even though you drink like 5 gallons because you just sweat it all out, you know, and so you're getting the toxins out too. And then, yeah, you feel it. You feel how you're pure. So traveling, if you're going to travel, it's way better to do it on a bike. And, you know, some people might be like, oh, but I'm like too lazy or I'm not healthy enough. Well, that's because you don't bike tour. If you bike tour, you would get healthy enough. And somebody should do a reality, like a YouTube reality show. I'd love to see that. Kind of like The Biggest Loser type of thing. Of some fat person, some obese person who like suddenly had an epiphany and was like, oh, you know what? I don't think I want to be obese anymore. And, you know, they weigh like 300 pounds. You know, even if they're old, like a 50-year-old 300-pounder, and they're like, you know what? I want to get in shape. So then they ride their bike like around the whole world, you know, and by the time they get home after like a year, they'll be like fit, like that Jared dude from Subway, how he lost all that weight. Well, you could do that by bike touring. You could get yourself really in shape. It'd take a couple of years, actually. You could ride all over the world, and yeah, it'd take you a couple of years, but but you could get just in good shape if you don't try trying. You could be up there. Yeah, and maybe become an Olympic athlete, you know. Yeah. But yeah, if you're just like living in one place and you're not traveling the whole time, it's way better to have a car because you're gonna get bored and really fucking fast living on a bike. I mean, you can sleep in the bushes and be fine if you're bike touring because you're thinking about all the money you're saving and all that stuff. But and even enjoy it camping out. The main problem you would have camping out bike touring is like security. You'd think like you'd get busted or something, you know. But if you're not worried about security, like you know where it's legal in Scandinavia, it's actually kind of pleasant to camp out. Even in the rain, if you have a tent, you know. But if you're gonna stay in the same place, you want to be in a car. Or if you're gonna do it like I do it, like you live in a town for a month or two, and then you go to another town and live for a month or two, and you're traveling that way, it's way better to be in a car. Because like you can just totally relax in your car, and it's like you're in a house. Like I don't even understand the concept of living in a house anymore. I'm laying there in bed and I'm like looking up at the ceiling and I'm like, you know, this is my house. Like if I had a house, if I was paying rent, the things should get fucked up fast. I mean, I'd lose more stuff. I'd accumulate too much stuff. I'd be spending way too much on utilities and rent. I probably wouldn't get along with my roommate. You know, then I have to pay all this other maintenance money. It's just not worth it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they said something about my long hair. Talk about my long hair. Yeah, I like having long hair. I'm gonna keep my hair growing out. My hair, I've been growing out my hair for like a couple of years now, but it's not really that long because I guess I didn't clip the ends plus I like let it dread up. I go like a week without combing it and let it dread up, and then I comb it out and I take all this hair with me, so I kill a lot of my hair that way. But I just like the idea of not ever cutting my hair. And yeah, if my hair wants to get really long eventually, then I like the idea of that. But I like having it combed out like this. Yeah, I'm gonna start combing it all the time. The last time I combed it yesterday, it drove me crazy. So no more dreading for me, unless like I went to a party, like I was invited to like an award show or like a big party, like a social thing. I'd let it dread up real good, and I have this like huge afro, like I'd let it dread up, and then I would pull it apart, so I'd have these like poofed up dreads. So I literally am like as big of an afro as any black dude you've ever seen. So. But that would be the only occasion, because that kind of thing would take like a half hour to comb out, and I'd lose a lot of hair. So it'd be a pain. But yeah, I like having long hair because it's like you feel like an animal, you know. You don't feel like a robot. You don't feel like you're in a box. You can remember the days where you were out there walking on the earth and digging up legumes and eating those, and you know, picking fruits off the trees and walking around naked and soaking in the hot tub and like, you know, letting the chipmunks eat out of your hand and stuff, you know, or whatever. And then you have the long hair for that, you know. So anyways, that's that.